The 2026 Stadium Series jerseys have officially been revealed. The game will be taking place later on this season between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Now, I am always usually kind of hit or miss when it comes to Stadium Series jerseys. We have seen a lot of just crazy designs for some Stadium Series games in the past. But I feel like the past 2 seasons, maybe three give or take, have all relatively been pretty tame. And this year's jerseys for the Lightning and the Bruins, to say the very least, have not been well received so far. To the point where I have seen people saying that this could quite possibly be the worst jersey matchup in NHL history. So we are going to dive right in. We are going to start with the home team in this game, the Tampa Bay Lightning. The first picture that we're going to be taking a look of is of Ryan McDonagh of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and here you get a really good look at the front of the jersey. Now, from a colors perspective, I really like the colors. I am a sucker for a darker blue mixed in with a lighter shade of blue. I love the Seattle Kraken logo and jersey for a reason. So the color scheme of this jersey is right up my alley, and I do really love the subtle lightning bolts in the middle of the TBL letters going down the front. The design for itself, in my opinion, leaves a little bit to be desired. It's just really basic striping, and we typically don't see that from a Stadium Series jersey. And I've seen people comparing this jersey to a knockoff jersey that you would find at like Walmart or Target or something like that. And I don't know if I would necessarily go that far, but they're definitely not the best. In my opinion, I think they could have done a much better job at the striping given the color scheme that they used for this game. Taking a look at the back of the jersey, you get the full number kit on the back. You get the same kind of lightning bolt effect in the numbers, which I do think is a really nice touch. And one thing that I think should be noted, the nameplate being white is a very smart decision, because if it was that baby blue, might have been difficult to see on the ice. So the back of the jersey, I think it looks pretty clean. Again, I just don't necessarily think it looks like a Stadium Series jersey. I think it just looks like a regular, just alternate jersey for the Lightning. Now, staying on this picture, because what we're going to be talking about, you can see it in this photo. The one thing that I do not like about this jersey, aside from the stripes being just really simple, is the kind of skull graphic in the blue armbands on the sleeves. This may be an unpopular opinion. I'm not a super big fan of when teams started to do this on their jerseys. And for the life of me, I really can't come up with a good explanation as to why I don't really care for them, but I think sometimes it works. Like, I think it works with the Vegas Golden Knights. But on other jerseys, I just don't think it works. And on this jersey, I don't think it works. I think it just looks really out of place, and I don't want to say it makes it look cheaper in a way, but it looks like it's trying to do just a little bit too much. Now, if they had that kind of skull logo, if they had that skull logo with the lightning bolt on it, maybe on the front of the jersey, maybe things could have been talked about a little bit different with this jersey. But that's the one thing that I just am not a big fan of when teams do it. And this is a good example of it here. I just think it just doesn't really fit this jersey at all. Moving on to the Boston Bruins, and boy, oh boy, this one is downright brutal for me. I am not a big fan of this jersey at all. I think the striping on it is okay. I would have reversed the white and the black. I think that would have made it look a little bit better. The white gloves is okay. It kind of flows nicely with the white cuffs of the sleeves. But overall, I just don't think it's that good of a design. Again, the striping isn't necessarily something that you would associate with a Stadium Series jersey. Now, we have seen some of the original six being part of a Stadium Series game, and for the most part, their jerseys work. Some of them just do not. This one just does not work for me. I am really not a big fan of this jersey at all. Taking a look at the back of the jersey, you get the number kit and the letters. I think that all looks fine. It doesn't look too different from what their normal look is. You get a better look at the striping. Again, I would have been a bigger fan of this had the white and the black stripes been reversed. And you also get the same kind of sunrise design on the sleeves, similar to what it is on the Lightning jersey with the skull. Here, I think it works a little bit better. It's subtle enough that you really can't notice it. As for the Lightning jersey, it's pretty dang noticeable in some pictures. Now, quickly going back to the front of the jersey. The logo that they used just does not work for a Stadium Series jersey. This looks like a typical Winter Classic logo, if anything. I don't think this belongs on the front of this jersey. What I do think belongs on the front of this jersey is that shoulder patch with the B and the claw marks going behind it. I think that is a really, really nice looking logo, and I think it would have looked really, really good on the front of that jersey. I think the logo that is on the front of the jersey would have looked a little bit better as a shoulder patch. And we have seen a variant of that logo being used predominantly as a shoulder patch for years and years on the Bruins. So I think it works better as a shoulder patch as opposed to a logo on the front of the jersey. I think that Bruins shoulder patch with the claw mark and the B in front, I think that would have looked really, really nice on the front of this jersey. So out of everything that I dislike about this jersey, I dislike the logo on the front the most. I think they should have swapped that logo with the B logo on the shoulder. So here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the greatest jersey matchup that we are ever going to see. It is far from it. Do I think it is the absolute worst? It might be up there. Again, I don't hate the Tampa Bay jersey. I just don't think it looks like a Stadium Series jersey. The Lightning jersey looks more like an alternate jersey would be and not something that's used for a Stadium Series game. The Bruins, on the other hand, I am not a fan of that jersey at all. I think the black and the white stripes really should be reversed. I think the logo on the front should be swapped with the logo on the shoulder. I am really not a big fan of that Bruins jersey at all. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think about this year's Stadium Series jerseys for both the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. Again, I don't hate the Lightning one. I really, really dislike that Bruins one, though. So again, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And if you want some extra content from myself, you can go to our bio and you can click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the bio for a reason. That is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. Right now, we are currently on Instagram and X. Instagram gets a little bit more love because that's how this entire thing started for me, but we are somewhat active. I'm trying to be a little more active over on X as well. So if you enjoyed this video and you want some extra content from myself, I strongly suggest going and checking those other pages out. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Both are free. Both really help out the channel a lot. And if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely means the world to me. As always, stay tuned for more Jersey content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.